What's up, guys? It's Carson back here on Toxic Gaming today with week 2 of the MPL, Major PL, and stuff like that. We are going up against Gregulator, good pal Greg of the Los Angeles Clefable. That's who he is. For week 2, he has a pretty good team and everything, and he's pretty spook. Me and him are 1-1, and he knocked us out of the playoffs before in last season, and we took him on early and beat him the first I think battle of our MPL career, quote unquote. Last season we were able to beat him, but we got him for week 2. And for those of you again who want to see the team builder part of this, just stick around and we'll go through the team in depth. For those of you who want to skip, there'll be the timestamp and everything on screen to tell you where to go to and stuff. If you just want to go to the battle, no issues there. Just do what you want to do there with that. But anyway, you're gonna see on screen here, Greg's draft is pretty effing spook. Like, there was a lot of it I was pretty worried about. He started off with Kieran Black being his #1 pick and one of his Super Z users. Thundy Eye, who was just a regular offensive Z user. Scizor, Decidueye, Nidoking, Greninja, which is Torrent, Uxie, Hariyama, Comfey, which we all know the power of Comfey on this channel. And then finally his 5-point pick and another Super Z user was Rufflet, and his Mega Pokemon that he decided to go with was Mega Aerodactyl. So again, pretty effing spook. He has some pretty decent defensive mons and Decidueye and Uxie, and then he can make Scizor be really bulky defensively. Comfey, we know how bulky that thing can be. And then some really good speed attackers with Mega Aerodactyl, and then Thundy to basically help everything else that's a lower speed be able to kill things. Because of T-Wave, Prankster T-Wave, and all that bullshit. But that's what he's got for his team in his draft. It's really spook. So I wasn't too sure about what to bring for this. I didn't have much time, had a bunch of family issues going on. That's why there hasn't been many videos since the last MPL battle. You probably noticed that on the channel and stuff. So I kind of scrambled a team together, and to start off, we have King Barrett, our Tyrantrum, with Choice Scarf and Rockhead, because he's got a rocky head and stuff, with Head Smash, Earthquake, Iron Head, and Outrage, 252 in attack and Adamant, 4 in special defense, and then 252 in speed. Just a little preview thing, I didn't really do much speed creeping here with Tyrantrum. I wanted to get that little bit of extra speed that Choice Scarf gives you, but I wanted him to hit like a motherfucking truck. I wanted to be able to guarantee whatever he was in against was either going to switch out and something else is going to die, and or get 2-shot depending on what switches in and what I can outspeed with Choice Scarf, or if whatever decides to stay in will die from the Head Smash. Tyrantrum is going to be that kind of mon. I want it to pick up 1 kill. That's all I need is 1. And it can do so many more things if the really speedy mons on his team and everything are gone. Next we have Entei, a Road Dog, with Choice Band and Extreme Speed, Sacred Fire, Stone Edge, and Iron Head. 12 in HP, 236 in attack, and then 214. Actually, it should be 252 in attack. I don't know why Showdown did dumb. But then 244 in speed. Basically, we want this to be Banded Entei, again, like Tyrantrum, hitting things hard, early and often. That's what I'm kind of going with my match here against Greg. And really, Banded E-Speed is going to help everything we have. Like, that Mega Aerodactyl is a pain. Banded E-Speed does a decent chunk to that to be able to revenge kill it. Banded E-Speed, I'm pretty sure one-shots Greninja. Like, I don't think Greninja is bulky enough to take that. And then E-Speed in general is just the Banded E-Speed is what we're going to be going with half the time. Sacred Fire the other half, and then Stone Edge and Iron Head I just kind of put on there in case of emergencies. Like, we need those instead of anything else, just in case. Next we have good old Suckit, our Mega Blastoise, with Scald, Toxic, Haze, and Rapid Spin, 252 HP, 252 in defense and Bold Natured, and then 4 in special defense. He's our switch in to really any physical attackers Greg's gonna bring. Not the best ever at all switch in to Kieran Black, but we can stop any setups with, like, say a Swords Dance Scizor, anything like that. We can Toxic the Thundy if we need to, Toxic Kieran if we need to, Toxicing Greninja if we need to, anything around that time. And then if we get random Scald Burns, we get random Scald Burns. I'm okay with that. Like, it's kind of all we need from Blastoise. And with Mega Evolving, his Scald, even though it's not going to be a special attack invested, it's still going to do a decent chunk most of the time. So that's really kind of what I wanted to be for Mega Blastoise. Our physical defense wall that could literally sit on the field as long as he possibly can. Next we have Daniel Bryan, our Cobalion, with Choice Scarf again, Dual Scarfer and Abandonment on this team. So we're on triple choice right now. With Ironhead, Close Combat, Stone Edge, and Zen Headbutt, with a 100 in HP, 252 in attack, and then 156 in speed, with a Jolly nature. And I believe, and when I did my math and everything with this, that this will outspeed anything on his team that is not Scarfed, and I believe outspeed Scarf Nidoking guaranteed. So that's kind of what we were going for, and Scarf Kyurem. Anything, I think it was 95, I think 95 to like 120, whatever is the speed stats in between Kyurem and fucking Thundy. Those were the ways we were going with this. I think Thundy's like 111 or something like that, and we can't be able to beat a Scarf Thunderous for some reason, just because we're 108. But we're going to be hitting things hard and fast and all that type of things. Nothing on his team really likes Ironhead or Close Combat. Like, there's not much that likes that from his team. Even Scizor isn't going to take Close Combats the best. Especially, like, I can take Bullet Punches with ease from Scizor and not worry about it. Next up, we have kind of the Mon that I wanted to sweep in with this team. This is with Mew. Go with San Martino for us. He's holding the Munium Z with Dazzling Gleam, Flamethrower, Rock Polish, and Psychic. 36 in HP, 252 in special attack, and then 220 in speed with a Timid nature. And this basically guaranteed that once we get our Rock Polish up, we outspeed damn near everything. Like, at that point, we outspeed pretty much everything on his draft. We hit most, I believe we hit everything for neutral or super effective damage. Dazzling Gleam, being able to hit Greninja. Hopefully we can get a little bit chip damage because it doesn't guarantee a one-shot. Or we can have enough health to live Dark Pulse. Flamethrower can just dismantle good old Scizor right there. And does a decent chunk to Kyurem, being neutral. Dazzling Gleam is really, we want to go against Kyurem when we need to. And then Munium Z with Psychic doing the Genesis Supernova. That's going to be our nuke. Like, that's going to be the thing. Like, okay, if Kyurem comes in, we're going to outspeed it, but we can't kill it with Dazzle. I'm going to go for Z Psychic, and I'm going to nuke this motherfucker and get Psychic Terrain up for us. Then Scizor can't Bullet Punch us and get the extra chip damage. Greninja can't Water Shuriken us. All those type of things, and I can just pack on the damage with Mew, hopefully later game, and pick up all the kills we need to. And then, finally, we have Alondra Blaze, our Audino, with Leftovers and Regenerator, kind of like usual, with Knockoff, Protect, Wish, and Toxic. I learned from week 1, and I packed Toxic on this motherfucker. With 252 in HP, 4 in attack, and then 252 defense with a Careful nature. Mega Blastoise is our physical defense wall. Audino is our special defense wall. Pretty much what we need to do. He's not going to be the best matchup against Kyurem again. Kyurem's a real fucking problem. And with him having probably Fusion Bolt and then Ice Beam and like Outrage and stuff, Audino is going to have to pay. We're going to have to find out what Kyurem is before we can really decide if Audino or if Blastoise is going to be the better options. But we have ways to try to keep our team alive, try to stall out their team a little bit with Toxics, and just the nice tech of knocking off all around. If we get Toxics on Mons, I can bring in Audino and Protect stall them out just to get that extra damage, so that hopefully once Mew gets set up, Mew can win. That's really all we need to do. Basically, with his team that he did bring, with Greninja, Nidoking, Thundy T, or Thundy I, not Thundy T, Scizor, Kyurem Black, and the Mega Arrow, I was kind of expecting a Mega Arrow lead, but at the same time, I was like, you know what, it makes sense to, but at the same time, it makes sense to lead Greninja. I thought again, okay, maybe he'll go lead, good old Scizor and get a good U-turn out real early on my, maybe try to counter lead my lead Mew, that seems like it kind of is. Or if like you can tell on your screen, I'm going to end up leading with Tyrantrum. You know, if he wants to try to counter that. And then I really expected, the way I looked at this team, like, okay, what Mons are Scarfed? Nidoking fucking, like, blazed to me that it was going to be Scarf on this team, because I used Scarf Nidoking and went, like, 11-1 in last season. I kind of expected Greg to kind of do the same, just to prove to me, like, how good it is when it's used against me. That little bit of pettiness I was kind of ready for, just, you know, pettiness among friends. But, that was the Mon I kind of looked at and was like, okay, that thing is probably what's Scarfed and or Kyurem. Kyurem may be the Z Hail set, I don't know for sure. But again, that's what I was kind of thinking of. But without any further ado, without any spoilers or anything else, we're just going to get right on into the battle. Alright guys, we're getting into the battle here. If you're just joining us and stuff, that's perfectly fine. You found the right place to click to. I'm going to lead with Tyrantrum because I was like, okay, whatever he leads with is either going to be scared or is going to get fucking dicked on. and he leads with Greninja. And I'm like, okay, I could just one-shot this. I can live any hit, but I didn't want to risk getting burned turn 1 or getting just knocked out by its Specs Ice Beam turn 1. So I swap out into Blastoise. He ends up pulling the double, going out into his own Nidoking here. Good point on his part. I still would have fucking dicked it with a head smash. And here I pulled a thing that happened in the NPCC, and I forgot to Mega turn 1. He goes up for Stealth Rocks, and I go for Toxic. Literally a wasted turn on my part, and I told him I was going to Mega this turn, let him know I was staying in. And he's like, yeah, I was going to be staying in regardless anyway. So I Mega Evolve this turn. I'm going to be clicking Scald, because I was like, fine, I just need to damage what's in front of me. I can't make the prediction anymore. He goes for Earth Power, doing the damage and stuff. That's really a fuck ton of damage to Blastoise for the max HP that I needed. And I end up knocking out Nidoking with the Scald still. Like, that's a fuck ton of damage from an Earth Power to a Mega Blastoise. That's a lot of damage. But he gets basically a good switch here into Thundy, and I don't have a ground type on this team, so he's free to Volt Switch on my hard switch out here and get momentum. I have really no other options here. I can't really let Blastoise go down to anything, and I have to go into Audino, and we're going to see he just goes right for the T-Bolt for damage, and this is a specially defensive Audino, and that was a fuck ton of damage. Like, I get its Life Orb, but goddamn, that was a lot of damage. Was not ready for that. So I'm like, okay, I know I can Toxic him. I need to Toxic him, put him on that timer. He knocks off, and he's going to get rid of my leftovers. And that knockoff did a fuck ton of damage, too. Like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. But with now landing the Toxic and him having good old Life Orb, it's going to put him on more than just a normal timer of Toxic. Like, he's now taking extra damage when he doesn't need to every turn. And I know here, I'm going to protect. I don't give a shit if he switches out. I'm protecting. Like, if he stays in for whatever reason, he's going to take the Toxic damage. As he decided to stay in here and just go for the Thunderbolt. Probably try to pick up a kill when I tried to set up Wish instead. But no, I was just like, no, you're getting Toxic stalled right now. You're going to try to take as much of that shit down with you as possible. But here I realize, okay, Audino is a little bit more effective for my team than Blastoise at this point. Blastoise has got to kill. I can't really do anything else, and I don't want any of my choice mons to switch into this, especially, like, I didn't know Cobalion. I don't want Cobalion to get knocked off, anything like that. I don't want superpowers to come in. So, sadly, Blastoise has to go down here. We're going to see that Life Orb, plus I believe this is, like, turn 3 of Toxic, is going to drop him down a lot of health to where he's going to be kind of in a range here for Entei 2 quick E-Speed, and I could have decided to quick Sacred Fire here, predicting a switch into Scizor, where I was like, no, I kind of need a quick E-Speed. It's better than getting T-Waved. He's going to switch out now and go right on into his Aerodactyl, which will be a Mega Aerodactyl, and it's going to be the one taking the E-Speed. I'm kind of glad I didn't Sacred Fire. Like, yes, I probably could have burned this, but it wouldn't have done that much. I'm going to see Banded E-Speed does a decent chunk to this. So I know if I keep Entei around and this thing becomes a problem, I can now pace it and I can knock it out if it just get a little bit more damage. I decided to go into Cobalion here, kind of risky because I figured he's probably going to go for Earthquake after Mega Evolving, but on the calcs, I could actually live one Earthquake, no problem, and then threaten this thing out with like a... I think it was a pretty decent chance to be able to kill it with Close Combat or a guaranteed kill with Iron Head. There's really no other reason for me to bring in Cobalion here if I'm not Scarf. And we're going to see he does Earthquake, and I'm going to be able to live it. Decent amount of health still available. And here, I predicted the switch into Scizor, him thinking I was going to kill with Iron Head, and he doesn't die from the fucking Close Combat. And I'm like, well, shit. My little bit of an over-prediction, because I would have done way more damage to Scizor with the Close Combat than compared to Iron Head. It ended up costing me my Cobalion. I probably should have just clicked Iron Head anyway and just done that, or just hard switched out, but at the same time, I didn't really know what else to do there. I go into Tyrantrum here because I'm like, okay, Tyrantrum's going to get a kill. I don't care. Whatever he switches into is going to get 2-shot. And here's where I realized I should have been Jolly to be able to try to outspeed this thing. I don't think I would have been either anyway, but it's like I should have tried. But here I'm like, okay, Adam and Head Smash. Fucking whiff. Like, we fucking whiffed it. I'm so pissed at fucking Tyrantrum. I decided to save it because I was like, okay, his entire team is one-shot by Tyrantrum's Head Smash, except for Scizor. And I have Mew that can deal with Scizor later. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to sack off Audino. I have literally nothing else I can do at this point. And Tyrantrum can be still win con once this is gone and Scizor is gone, both of which can be taken care of by Mew. I can take an Earthquake with Mew from the Spin Aerodactyl and get set up to be able to do my thing. But I'm like, okay, Tyrantrum is kind of my best win con. I go into not Excadrill, Entei here, because I'm like, okay, I kind of need to click E-Speed, because I need to kill this thing. I don't want to have to damage Mew when I don't have to, but I need to click E-Speed, and here's where he knows that, he planted for that, and he goes into Scizor here, and I'm like, motherfucker, if I would have clicked Sacred Fire, this thing would have been dead, wouldn't have had to worry about it, but win E-Speed. I was kind of backed into a corner where I had to click E-Speed, so here I decided to switch out into Tyrantrum. I know the Bullet Punch is coming. I don't want Mew to get hit with a U-turn. I don't want Mew to get hit with Bug Bite, and he decides to U-turn here to get momentum. It was the point where, yes, Tyrantrum, as I said, was a pretty big win con for me, but I didn't know what else to do at this point. At this point, I was kind of backed into a corner. I was like, okay, Mew can still do a good amount of things. I just need to get it set up, and I still have Entei with E-Speed to be able to pick things off as I need to that Mew can't kill. So I have to bring in Mew here. I have to click Rock Polish and try to make this Mew set work. Thankfully, he goes for Toxic instead. I say thankfully because what he actually also had, he told me afterwards, he had Taunt on this Mega Arrow. If he would have taunted here, I would have lost clean right here and there. But thanks to my Synchronize, he actually is going to be dying to Toxic instead of me the next turn, and I'm able to get my Rock Polish off and get my speed doubled and such. So really, I wish he kind of would have gone for Earthquake and just done the straight up damage rather than the Toxic. But at the same time, good play on Greg's part to guarantee that Mew is now put on a clock as well. Probably the better play would have been Taunt, but still. Here he brings in his Scizor, and I'm like, okay, this is the Scizor. I have Flamethrower on Mew. I can do this. He's going to Bullet Punch, because he knows I'm faster. He can't just let this thing go down without getting some damage off. And the Flamethrower is actually going to bust through this Scizor, and when I say bust through, it shouldn't sound surprising, because this was an AV Scizor. Found that out later. We just busted through an AV Scizor pretty decently, so I was okay with that. Mew's going to be really weakened now. I kind of realized, okay, I need Mew to put as much work in as possible. Here comes in the Thundy, and I was like, okay, I kind of need to use my Z move here. As I go for the Genesis, Supernova, and stuff, I was like, okay, I could not do it in Quick Psychic, but then Greninja just comes in and picks me off with Dark Pulse, with a Water Shuriken. He's not going to bring in Kyurem after this Thundy goes down. He's going to bring in Greninja because that can basically finish me at this point. But I was like, fine, I need to click my Z move to kind of protect myself from Water Shuriken and not get picked off if he doesn't have it. And then if he doesn't, some reason, have Dark Pulse, I can then try to 2-hit KO him with Dazzling Gleam. Genesis is going to set up the battlefield getting weird. Mew went all Super Saiyan, and now it's all weird in the fucking place. But I also got to pick up the kill on Thundy. And we're in a bad place now in terms of health, but I was like, I kind of need to stay in. And here comes the Greninja. I'm like, okay, let's roll the dice here. If I get a crit Dazzle, I can win this game still, potentially. And we don't. We don't even get anything close to a crit Dazzle. And he will show the Dark Pulse and kill me. He ended up also having Water Shuriken, and he said he would have gone for that if the field wasn't Psychic-y and stuff. And sadly, because I kind of handicapped myself by not having Tyrantrum by not having Tyrantrum and picking Entei instead, I can't E-Speed this thing. He's gonna outspeed me. Like, I'm banded. He was, I think, Specs or something. He was gonna outspeed me anyway. If I had Tyrantrum, I could have outsped this and killed it. But you win some, you lose some. And losing against Greg, who was the champion of last season for the MPL, I'm definitely not sad about. 1-2 against him. I know. But Greg's a good friend of mine, good battler. He's in the GBA now, I think, in the D League and stuff. So if you want to go check out any of that stuff as well, if you don't know already, his links will be in the description below to check out. Check out this side of the battle. Check out all Greg's GBA content and things. If you enjoyed the battle, we're 1-1 now in the season, and if you enjoyed and stuff, hit that like button. Do that for me. And you can subscribe for more. These will be coming out again on Thursdays as such. There'll be more coming out this week for other league stuff coming on. But that's really all I got. So, again, thank you guys for coming out. I'm Carson, this is Toxic Gaming. And as always, you guys stay toxic. We'll see you guys.